Hello, everyone. Denise Carpenter from ReikiAssociates.com here. And today we're going to keep working on Meet the Practitioners at the Lotus Wings building. And it's a little bit of a little bit of a glitchy situation because I don't know how to interview myself. So my beautiful admin support person, Louise Pritchard, has agreed to come in and interview me with the same questions that we've asked the other practitioners. So I hope you enjoy this, and over to you, Louise.
Thanks, Denise. Denise, could you share the personal journey that led you to your current modality?
I can, and it's not a pretty one, I have to say. It's all just began with trying to find my way through some very profound interpersonal conflict. So I was having this situation with another person, and I became so angry with this other person that I popped right out of my body. I couldn't, I couldn't get myself back in, couldn't get there. And one of my good friends called me, as synchronicities happen, called me on that day. And she just said in this very meek voice, because I'm like a volcano. So she said to me, I just took my level 1 Reiki, and they told me if we bring the principles to whatever is going on in your world, that it helps sort it out. So the first principle is just for today, do not worry. Well, no, just for today, do not anger. Well, I'm already so angry. I thought this stuff just is. Next principle is just for today, do not worry. Well, this was very personal to me, so that wasn't helping me. The next principle is just for today, I choose to live in gratitude. So I think this is going downhill really fast, right? And then the rest of that principle is just for today, I honor myself, my parents, my elders, and my teachers. And when we got to that word teachers, something happened to me. Like I could feel where your liver is.
Mm-hmm.
I could feel like a switch go chuk, chuk. And the universe speaks to me in pictures. And it flashed me the picture of Xena, the warrior princess, with her sword drawn and her shield up and ready to do battle. And then on this side, it flashed me a picture of, now in those days I was practicing Anglican. So it flashed me a picture of Christ and I sitting under this beautiful, fully leafed maple tree on a beautiful rock bench talking. And it said to me simply, choose.
Mm.
Which, just, and that one word, two pictures, choose. And I said, I choose this one, the Christ one. And that's when I felt this thing, whatever that was, I was back in my body and I was not angry. Like seconds. And then her and I stayed on the phone. We came up with 3 possible solutions to this dilemma. I went to this person with those 3 solutions. They chose one of them, and we never went back to that butting heads. And I thought, I better learn this stuff. I was so in awe. I was shocked. I was because we had been through so many counselors and all kinds of things, and nothing seemed to settle it. But Reiki did,
Wonderful.
just like that. Yep.
Goodness. Well, you give us a good example of how you got started.
Yes.
And for someone who is completely new to your work, how could you explain your modality in simple, relatable terms?
Mhm. So I've been doing this work now since 96. So I'm coming up to my 30th year
Mm.
of doing this work. So I've had many, I call it my elevator speech. So I've had many recreations of my elevator speech. So the one I use now, I think, is the most effective. And I always say we start with the premise in my world that we are energy beings having a human experience in a corporeal body. We are not physical beings just having momentary spiritual ahas. So if we start with the premise that we are totally energy beings, and if I just stretch my arms out all the way, I explain that's how big we are. And it is said that within my energy system, there are 72,000 pathways that carry the energy from my center above to my center below, or from my center below up to my center above. And just living on this planet, just being on Earth, those pathways can become broken, they can become misaligned, or they can become entangled. And all Reiki does is bring those pathways back to their original blueprint. So then the energy can flow through you the way it was intended. So it doesn't affect personality, any of those contracts, birth contracts that you might have come in with. All it does is let you access your own, it lets that universal life force energy flow through you in an unimpeded or an undistorted way.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I guess that addresses what is the core principle or philosophy that truly guides you?
What drew me in those days was I was looking at doing some kind of service work. And everything I looked at, there was possibility to harm. Reiki will not harm another person. You cannot use it to manipulate or change. You can't do it wrong. You can't do, because it's a one way. As you ask the Reiki energy to flow on behalf of someone else, it's direct. So that's what prompted me also was I couldn't hurt anybody. Yeah, I really didn't want to.
No.
No.
Now, when a client chooses to have a session or work with you over time, what are the most significant benefits or positive shifts they can expect to experience? So I'm asking, what is the lasting impact you hope to have on their overall well-being?
Mm-hmm. So as they start to come in, and again, people come in for all different reasons. So if it's like a physical trauma, the sooner they can find a Reiki person to help them with that trauma, the sooner we can get those pathways back to their original blueprint. If it's a long-standing trauma, like a chronic something that's going on, it may take a few sessions to get those pathways back. If it's an emotional trauma, same thing. Like just the sooner you can find treatment, I think the faster the trauma will, those pathways will come back, and you can move that trauma energy through your system. So I would say so gradually it would be like a step by step. Whereas you might have been triggered by something, let's say on Monday, come in for a session, and then by Friday, you're not as triggered. Like, so that would be that gradual step by step. And then I have had some people come in with, they come in, they kind of let me know where they want to go with their session. And it's kind of a one and done. Like it's amazing to see how the energy is going to work with another person, another person's energy system. And I would say the most profound piece would be it helps you come back to who and what you truly are. So we are more able to manage our own kind of personality and come back to kindness, compassion, respect for another being with integrity. And even if our personality has triggers in it, it still helps us move back into our authentic self.
I'm just going to ask you an impromptu question here. How many people do you treat that find they want to go on to learn to be a Reiki practitioner or learn Reiki to how to administer Reiki to themselves?
It wouldn't be 50%. So maybe 30 to 40% do. Some people just like coming in and not having the responsibility of having to stay focused and doing the channeling the Reiki. They just want to kind of, I wouldn't call it zone out, but I would call it zone in, go in and experience the session from that place of being connected inwardly instead of having to think about all the other things if you're the practitioner.
Good. Now, Lotus Wings is a collection of practitioners dedicated to integrated health in Perth. And what would you say is the mission and community here at Lotus Wings Wellness Centre that attracts you to join and practice in the location and obviously establish it?
Yeah. So it's been fun. So I came here in 2006. And we're now in 2026. So I've been here 20 years now. Wow. And when I first came, I just rented a room. There were two other women working here, renting space at the time. And I just rented one of their rooms. And then in 2008, one of the women of the two women, one had left to do something else and the other one stayed. And her and I actually bought the building in '08. And then we started to create this. We had a vision of a wellness center back in '08. So we bought the building and started to put it together. But I have to say, the building has always had a vibe to it. It's like a kindness. It's a generous kindness vibe has always been here, even in '06. That's one of the reasons why I came to rent space here. I just liked the feel of the building, and it wasn't configured it wasn't configured in the way it is now. It wasn't even close to the way it is now. But so in '08 we bought the building and then started to create this wellness center. And in those days, I'm still very into organic and all natural and so we built it on the principles of permaculture. So everything has to have more than one purpose. Everything has to be movable, realignable. Everything has to connect with each other and kind of flow and work with each other. And it just kind of took off from there. So once that premise was there, over the years now, as practitioners come and go, and some of our practitioners have been here. I think Chris has been here maybe the longest with 11 years.
Wow.
Some have been here 10 years. Some kind of come and go. Like if they don't fit, if their entrepreneurial characteristics aren't more of for a team setting, then they wouldn't really fit in. But if they can keep that being an entrepreneur and work within a team, they fit very well. So over the years, it's been so interesting to see who comes and who goes. Everybody seems to benefit. And even those that don't stay for very long, I think there's some, what would you call it? Kind of subtle teachings that happen while they're here that I'm not sure I could even say what they would be, but I watch people come and stay here for a while and then I watch them go and they're different in their practice somehow. So it's just been so very rewarding to still be part of it, to still have it going. So my job here now is I manage the clinic and have my own Reiki practice, full-time practice within the building itself. And we've just got just a wonderful group of practitioners who mesh together very well. So they're all entrepreneurs and yet they're all team players at the same time. So it's fascinating to watch how we all kind of fit together and how we work together. And I think we're in our stride now. We've hit our stride. So almost everybody that comes in for the first time, they'll come through the door, and there's a set of chimes that your Dave helped or did installed over the door that announces their arrival. And in some cultures, chimes or bells are the first clearing that happens. And then when I went to Japan in '24 to do some study, I brought back a prayer. It looks like a little wooden panel, but it's a prayer. So as everyone walks through the door, they walk into the prayer with this clearing
Ah,
chime. And when they come in, it's amazing how everybody says, "Oh, it's so peaceful here."
yes.
And I'd like to say last week we had a couple of people come in to have appointments, and they were driven by their partners, and both the partners fell asleep in the reception area.
My own included.
Your own included. And they both woke up saying, "Oh, I feel so relaxed and so refreshed." It was so I think we've met our stride in how to facilitate that decompression, that stress decompression as soon as they walk through the door. And then my goal this year is that as soon as they come across the sidewalk, I really want to make it just a little bit more inviting. So I've got some ideas for flowers around the door. And the door to the clinic is this sun
Yes.
brilliant yellow. So people smile usually when they see that. So we'll see where it grows this year. So it's been such a treat and such an honor. And I'm going to say such a pleasure to watch it grow. And it's really like tending a garden, you know. So tweak this, tweak that, see what works, what doesn't work. And it's very organic and ongoing and delightful.
Well, and I can say personally that when I walk through the door, I can feel it. But I spend a day here working, and of course, I have access to all that energy that's flowing through this building.
Yeah.
It's wonderful,
Yeah.
just wonderful.
And how long have you been working here now?
Oh my gosh, I don't know,
10 years
10 years maybe?
or more?
I don't know. Anyway, it's
At
great.
least 10. Yeah. Yeah. Perfect.
Well, thank you very much, Denise.
Oh, thank you, Louise. We've met our interview criteria. So at this point, we'll say thanks for listening. Come in and you can go on. We're putting a new playlist together called Meet the Current Practitioners at the Lotus Wings building. So you can go on my YouTube channel, Denise Carpenter. Reiki Associates, I think, is the name of the YouTube channel. You can find all the practitioners on there and have a listen. Come in and see what speaks to you, what doesn't speak to you, and hopefully we'll see you soon. Namaste.
Namaste.